Hello, divine souls. Welcome to Solar Energy with me, your soul pal. Hopefully, I can call myself that. In fact, I felt really honored just as I uttered the word, and I hope that I'll be able to justify the term through what I bring for this beautiful collective of divine souls on this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining in. The energy that lights up our universe is the solar energy. The energy that lights up our souls is the solar energy. This is a sacred space to fill the holy fire of your soul with the right kind of energy. If you have found this video, it's most likely that you have started walking the path of your soul and are looking to accomplish or reach certain milestones on this journey, which I am sure that by the grace of the divine forces you connect with, you certainly will. Take this video as a healing, nurturing, and supportive guidance sent by the higher forces you connect with. This video is intended for this beautiful collective that has devoted a good part of their energy in exploring their inner corners. By inner corners, I mean those spaces within one's psyche that most people usually avoid exploring, for it requires self-acknowledgement, a big part of which comes from mindfully reliving the experiences that life has offered. The potential of the human psyche is limitless, but often it is restrained by conditioning of the worldly ways. Once cleared of these, the psyche starts activating its prime potential, aligning with the goal of the soul. The goal of the soul is alignment with one's highest self, the high vibrational self that complements the universe as a very, very valuable part of its grand cosmic regime. Know that the universe values you, and so by valuing yourself, loving yourself, nurturing and taking care of yourself, you honor the ways of the universe. And when you honor the ways of the universe, it honors you back with great material and spiritual abundance, prosperity, and peace. Today, in this episode, I feel called to channel into what I would like to term as the parental psychical pattern, which I sense that many within this beautiful collective are subconsciously trying to address. This channel is meant to assist you in your breakthroughs by being a supportive medium of love and wisdom on your journey. I like to place the things that I talk about on this channel under a broader umbrella term, the signs of the spirit. So let's dive into it. Okay, firstly, congratulations on coming so far. The very fact that you are seeking answers to questions that most are afraid to ask validates the significance of your unique journey. I'm so proud of you. The universe is proud of you. The universe is supporting you. You are on the right track. This journey has not been easy, but it has been worth it. You strive towards perfection, but know that it's already inside you. You are already perfect. What I see is that certain subconscious patterns might still be blocking you from unlocking your highest self, your highest potential. Subconsciously, you are also trying to break free from these patterns. So, there's a little conflict going on, which may be pulling on your evolving psyche. Maybe you understand that you need to let go of certain things to become a better version of yourself. But you end up repeating these things, which you know are not currently aligned with you, your current self, your higher self. But you seem to do this in the heat of the moment and then regret it later on. But let me tell you that you don't need to blame yourself for any of these things. Sometimes, what you carry is not a thing of your own. It's not supposed to be carried by you. I see you have grown better and better, and you don't seem to stop, for the divine inside you has been guiding you and protecting you. While striving towards light through the dark, you yourself have become a beacon of light. In certain situations, you might act in a way that does not complement the current higher version of yourself into which you have evolved. For example, sometimes you may show anger in certain circumstances and later regret that you shouldn't have acted that way. Sometimes you end up thinking about certain things or people in a way that you may later regret, like you shouldn't have spent so much time in thinking about them, or shouldn't have stressed yourself with overanalyzing something which you know you really didn't need to. For deep within you, you know that such actions and reactions are very unlike of you now. Let me tell you that this is where the parental psychical pattern plays a big part. I see some of you have also broken generational conditionings. Congratulations. You have deviated from the usual ways within your familial system. But please know that the subconscious requires a certain level of conscious training to be reprogrammed. And since more than 90% of our thoughts are controlled by the subconscious, you might end up repeating patterns which by now you consciously know that you are not supposed to. 60% of our mental makeup is inherited from our parents through the genes. The remaining 40% depends on the environment we grow up in. If you observe closely, or if you can recollect minutely, you will notice that one or both of your parents had reacted similarly to those situations that trigger you now. It really takes deep observation and minute recollection to practically understand this, but it's not that tough. Our parents don't tell us everything. They might not have revealed to you when they had been anxious or tensed. But if you know, which I'm sure you kind of know by now. And if you reflect upon it, you will find that most of the things that had triggered them then triggers you now. You end up reacting in a similar fashion you have seen them do, whether you had liked it or not. Maybe you have risen above familial conditionings, but as I said earlier, the subconscious requires a certain kind of conscious programming to let go of certain repetitive patterns that are not serving your higher self any longer. Currently, if you find yourself troubled by certain relationships, people, habits, or circumstances in your life, ask yourself the following questions. Whether the same kind of relationships and circumstances have come into your life earlier. Of course, you have gotten out of it earlier, and you know that you would get out of it now as well. But please ask yourself these questions. Are you reacting to it the same way that you had before? Or is there a difference? How difficult had it been then for you? And how difficult or easy is it being now? Had it served its purpose? If yes, then probably you have also learned your lessons. But as I said, learning the lessons is not equivalent to applying them. And the thing that might be preventing you from changing the pattern is your subconscious attachment and reliance on a parental psychical pattern that you have inherited. You are triggered by specific actions of specific people, which might anger you at the heat of the moment, but then later on you realize that you shouldn't have been really bothered by it, or that it shouldn't have triggered you. That's because you innately have evolved a lot and have broken generational patterns. But this goes back to your early childhood and particularly your adolescence. Chances are that while you might have committed similar actions, your parents had either gotten angry at you or unnecessarily schooled you in a harsh way, whereas they should have either made you understand softly, gently, and calmly that where you were going wrong, if it was indeed something bothersome, or would have not reacted at all, at least not harshly. And if it wouldn't have worked in a single go, they should have patiently made you understand again and again. Well, that's what a majority of parenting is about, I think. Patience, softness, and gentleness. It's normal for a child to not listen. If someone expects that just because I'm raising a child, it should always listen to me, well, that's not how it fundamentally works. If that was the case, then the word raising would not have been applicable on parenting. Now, coming back to the parental psychical pattern you're holding onto subconsciously. For example, you know that a particular action of a particular person, maybe the way he or she walks, talks, replies, or does things, should not trigger you, or at least not make you angry. For at this point, you know your energy is too precious to be spent on anything that doesn't serve you. This is not only applicable on the actions of another person, it is also applicable on your mental makeup, on how you react to certain situations. For example, the way you panic at certain situations in your office. Maybe you hold on to a certain mentality of struggle, of obstruction, of fear and obstacles, the thoughts that you have in the morning after you wake up or before you go to sleep. Even maybe certain things that you feel compelled to lie about, to hide from others, to conceal. Sometimes even the way you treat yourself and others. You might even internally or externally verbalize things as a spontaneous reaction to someone or something, even to yourself. Later on, when you reflect upon these things, you feel that these were really unnecessary. This is your higher system trying to flush out these things that your lower system is still trying to retain, especially when you are on the bridge of breakthroughs. This shouldn't have caused a conflict if you wouldn't have come this far to ask yourself the very question that most are afraid to ask. That why do you do the things that you shouldn't or you don't need to, especially if you know that it becomes unnecessary, it becomes an obstacle to your growth and manifestation. You innately know that this is very unlike you for the person that you have become or are becoming. That it is unlike you to react this way, to think this way, to act this way, for you are now a self-inquisitive person, which I believe is a prime quality in someone who breaks generational patterns. I feel like sharing an anecdote here. There's this woman whose mother is very neat and tidy, but she's not as well organized as her mother. She often ends up misplacing her stuff and later panics when she is unable to locate them. Her mother helps her find her lost stuff very often. But every time this happens, she realizes after she finds her lost stuff through her mother's help that she didn't need to panic through it, for it cost her so much more energy than a more careful search and patience would have, than a little more cultivation of the organizational ability would have, perhaps. Because she is now self inquisitive. But she keeps repeating the pattern every time she is unable to find her stuff, repeats the panicky pattern, and then self schools herself. Now, one day, her mother herself was unable to find some of her stuff. I mean, her mother's stuff, because this is so unusual. She is such a well organized person. It was an anomaly. Now, she offers to help her mother in this situation. But meanwhile, she could not help but notice that her mother panicked exactly the same way that she herself were used to through these kind of situations. Even though her mother was such a well organized person, the way she has known her mother, it was little shocking as well as broadly revealing moment for her. Now, maybe her mother had inherited this pattern from her own mother. Maybe she was schooled quite a lot about it, that she turned into an extraordinarily organized person. Well, maybe she had pampered her daughter a little more, had been a little more compassionate, both avoiding schooling her daughter harshly and politely teaching her to be more well organized. Because maybe internally she avoided going into that space altogether, for it required her to uncover certain traumas of her own adolescence, and instead she just chose to help her daughter locate things and get it done away with it. Now, this could have gone two ways. She could have schooled her daughter harshly, like she herself was, or could have taught her politely again and again to be more well organized with her stuff. It is great that she did not go with the former, so great, but she also could not go with the latter, as it was a defense system guised as avoidance. For the parental psychical pattern that she has inherited remained unaddressed and unhealed. The same parental psychical pattern that has retained itself despite the change in the physical pattern. So, you see, this can be evident in both small and big things. So please don't blame yourself for these things. Really, you deserve pats on your shoulders instead of blames for coming this far. You have come so far. You are asking yourself questions, you are evolving. Congratulations again and again for coming this far. You are blessed. But this thing you are carrying is not of your own. And how do you let it go now? Okay. Once you realize that this thing you are carrying is not of your own and how it is tied to your adolescence, the first thing you are going to probably feel is a sense of anger, a sense of injustice, similar to those emotions that come up within you when you confront these situations now as an adult. For this is tied to your experience of similar situations during your adolescence. When you were a child, when you probably didn't even understand that why something in you triggered one or both of your parents or an adult caregiver who was close to you. But you mentally absorbed that this is the normal way you are supposed to react to such situations. This is the way you are supposed to act about certain things, which has become a part of your genetic makeup. But you are not supposed to be restrained by it. You know your potential is so high. Now, the moment you accept that this is not a thing of your own to carry, you will probably feel like placing it on your parents. But this will only continue the blame game. If you go to confront your parents about it now, they are probably going to be oblivious to it because they have not been so privileged on the terms of the soul as you are. Maybe they did the best they could or didn't, but again, a majority of things that they did was carried by them from their own parents and caregivers. That is, the parental psychical pattern. Now, actually consciously breaking free from this pattern requires a certain level of subconscious training. Once your subconscious realizes that this is not good for your higher self, the self that you are cultivating, the higher self that you are evolving into, it is easy to train your subconscious to let go of it once and for all. It does not happen at one go, but happens beautifully with a certain practice. Whenever you get triggered, forgive yourself for getting triggered. Even if you keep repeating the pattern for a while or so, don't push yourself into self-blaming or loathing. Don't blame yourself or your parents. Forgive them as well. Forgive them. Just realize and accept the fact that this thing is not of your own making and you need to let it go. It is not something you have cultivated inside of you. It has been cultivated by generational trauma inside you and your parents before that and their parents before that. The moment you start forgiving yourself, your immediate ancestors, this sense of forgiveness travel through the spiritual portals of your bloodline, healing your previous generations, protecting your upcoming generations, protecting you, cultivating better opportunities for you, and a higher sense of self for yourself and your upcoming generations. Once you begin this practice of self-forgiveness and parental forgiveness, you will see these unhealthy inherited tendencies subside, for you will no longer be in the loop of repeating it, blaming yourself or blaming someone else. Acknowledge this truth. Practice it. You are breaking free from this and are supported by the universe on this journey of self-love, universal love and abundance of which you are so deserving. Now here, I am reminded of a quote by Rumi. What you lost comes back around in another form. I would like to add that it comes back in a greater form. Now, I would like to end this video here with a certain blissful energy of release that I'm already sensing here. Release of certain parental psychical patterns by such divine, deserving souls, this collective now who are about to unlock the patterns of the universe to let in love, prosperity, and peace into their lives. Thank you. Let me know in the comments if you resonated with this video. I would continue with another thread of soul talk in my next video. I'd be so happy to find you back there. All of us here are on our own unique soul journeys. Please take this platform as a supportive, loving, co-creative, healing, safe and nurturing space along your soul journey. Thank you for tuning in, divine souls. Stay blessed.